All right, all right. Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do a singles storyline, but a little bit different because I'm gonna do one for every single zodiac. And this is kind of like a love message. It could be a self-love message. It could be a message from the universe. It's kind of like a blend of a lot of different things. Oh my gosh, I'm so windblown. I'm sorry. I was out there walking dog. Oh well, it is what it is. Now that's gonna drive me bananas. Every time I look up, I'm gonna see like my wild. I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but there, it's a semblance of tidiness, kind of. Okay, I tried. There we go. Now, let's get started. We're going to start out with Pisces. So here we go. Pisces, you are beginning at, we'll say 39 seconds in. Okay, here we go. So Pisces, this is for single storyline telling, okay? So this is for a character who identifies as single, and this is in regard to love, self-love, message from the universe. So first off, let's just take a quick peek and see what is the message. And when I say love, I'm talking not like, oh, what's coming in for love and romance necessarily. Love can encompass a lot of different things, but we have a 10 of wands, we have an emperor, we have an 8 of pentacles, and we have a 7 of pentacles. Pisces is in the process of creating the very life that they would like to live. This is someone who is an architect of their own life. Everything that they're already clearing out space to welcome in the kind of, I'll say, stability that they actually would like to have. So in context of love, this is like Pisces is creating a life for themselves that will be full of love of like literally loving what their life is comprised of. They may also be calling in a very stable influence for themselves. It's interesting how this is kind of like sitting right out there in the ether as soon as they would like to welcome it in, but they just had to make space for it first. Hi Jen, glad you're here tonight. This is a situation where Pisces just had to kind of like I'm going to say, when we tidy up our house before company comes over, that's what this is about. Our Pisces had to simply tidy up space in order to invite this kind of excitement, this kind of energy into their world. We have something on the horizon for a Pisces. It does not mean that it has to be a masculine, but I will say this. It's a stable influence. There's something here about like you finally believing that someone stays. I wonder if this has been a Pisces who has perhaps always known a lot of things that kind of drift in and out of their life. And this time they're calling in something solid. Now, this is all because they have actually subconsciously started to, I would argue, love themselves enough to make sure that they don't carry old baggage around. So say this had been a character. In fact, hold on, before I say anything, let me ask for the message from the universe for Pisces, because my impression is this is someone who took on other people's stuff. Yeah. 5 of Swords and the Tower. This Pisces probably got like rolled by the riptide of life more than a few times. This is somebody who learned how to defend themselves because nobody else had their back. This is a Pisces who had more than a few situations just like where the rug got pulled out from under their feet. They may have known some pretty significant betrayal. And so that kind of thing like got this character braced to always say, look, I got to watch my own back because ain't nobody watching it for me. That's what this looks like. I think that the last big upheaval that this character had, according to the universe is like, think about the last big breakdown, because for this character, that allowed them to truly be freed of a lot of like mental constructs where they thought, I'm always going to have to defend myself. Like, I feel like this person, without realizing it, our Pisces had been kind of imprisoned in a situation that was not awesome for them. They did not feel safe or secure. They were actually kind of being like held in this stasis where they were consistently under pressure to have to defend themselves. And so the universe came in and with this bolt of lightning broke that down and set the Pisces free. And that's kind of like our Pisces has wings to fly now. So no wonder we have with the message of love, this is actually a message of love from the universe. The universe is saying, Pisces, I freed you from that really unpleasant space that you did not deserve to have to be trapped in. Now it's like things are coming up roses. Things are getting so much lighter, so much brighter. So it's a really nice way. Queen Libra, no, you did not miss Libra. I'm just starting. Pisces is the first zodiac that I'm working with. All right. So we got lots of time for before I get to Libra. Guys, I'll be doing water signs, then Ophiuchus, then I'll do earth signs, then fire, and then I'm ending with air, just FYI. Um, very nice, very strong message for our Pisces. One of success, one of like they have the freedom to actually have a second chance at a really happy life. And this second chance, this is the one that it's not like just a second chance and then it's like, okay, what am I going to get out of it? It's a second chance that goes on and on and on. Their entire life is built into something fabulous, something beautiful, something successful. Um, this is the first, I'll say it's like the first day of the rest of the Pisces life, all because they've changed things for themselves. So what they're attracting as soon as they're ready, and that's the one big message here, is that nothing happens until the Pisces is ready. So until they lay down any of those burdens, the burden here mainly being thinking that they always have to defend themselves, or thinking that there's no way they can like relax and trust that good stuff is coming in. This says they absolutely can receive, and that just hovering right outside as soon as they're ready to accept it and accept someone into their world that will have their back, it's out there waiting for them. I feel as if there's already somebody that perhaps either admires the Pisces, or there's someone on the periphery who has not become a romantic partner. And it could be a big shock. It could be someone where it's like, that's not someone Pisces would have ever contemplated. This could be whatever, their local mechanic. It could be a next door neighbor that they don't know the person's name, but they see them in passing, and it's just sometimes things happen. Not, we don't even recognize that someone could be a candidate for playing that role in our lives until we're in a different headspace and heart space. But this is very nice space for the Pisces when they feel like it, to go ahead and welcome something like this into their life. Is there any other final message? Because like I say, this is kind of a love message, a self-love message, a message from the universe, but it's all pertaining to a single individual. We've got a 7 of Wands and a 9 of Cups. It's time to not block any fun opportunities. Any chance that Pisces gets to, I'm going to say, dress up, go to a party, go out, have fun, run with it. And don't just mildly dress up. This Pisces is incredibly attractive. Somebody looks maybe really good in masculine or feminine in like interesting colors, a light lavender, something with a little sparkle, a little sheen. Play up that watery vibe, play up that energy. If the color tones are like purples and turquoises and blues and colors associated with water, and during twilight or during daytime, that might be a great color tone for the Pisces. And it's like, if they're going to go anywhere, dress for the occasion. This is a Pisces who, this just says, dress up just for oneself, dress up to show the element that is, indicative of the energy flow that this character carries with them through life, because it may suit them very well. And go large, go sparkly. The ocean is something like you can't take your eyes off it. Well, Pisces has that same capacity to be that alluring, as long as they don't try to like hide all of that beauty. And I think that this Pisces may have had a tendency to do that. And this says, nope, you'll have a lot more fun to just let yourself go out there and be dressed to the nines, even if it's something simple. It's going out for whatever mimosas, on a whatever strange like Monday afternoon or something. Dress to impress in your own unique flair, because this Pisces has their own unique flair. Don't block that unique flair. That's a gift. The sparkle that they have. Very nice. Pisces, I totally enjoyed that. All right, Scorpios, you guys are coming in next. Scorpios, you are going to start at 9. Wow, that took a long time. 9:13. All right, so oh, and guys, thank you so much for being here. If you do enjoy my storytelling, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. All right, Scorpios, let's see what this is for. Singles. So this is for a character who would identify as single. But it is love message from the universe, and kind of like self-love message. So we start out with a Page of Wands. We have a King of Swords, and we have a Hermit. Who's watching our Scorpio? Do we have someone who thinks that our Scorpio is a little bit aloof, a little bit of somebody who tends to like there's at least two suitors that have an interest in the Scorpio, and the Scorpio is like, not interested. I'm kind of keeping myself over here, like on purpose. The thing is, what Scorpio's got to offer is like, she's coming across as a mermaid. Okay, so, and don't, I hope this doesn't come across in the wrong way, but this character is talked about a lot by others. Why? Because who wouldn't talk about a mermaid sighting? Scorpio may not know that they're quite the chitter chatter at the water cooler, like everybody kind of is like, did you see Scorpio? And not in negative ways, right? But it's interesting because I think Scorpio is kind of a difficult, like, mystery or conundrum or enigma. That's the word I'm looking for. Scorpio's coming across as an enigma. Now, in truth, they're just out here doing their own thing, but you notice how we have a lot of interest. Two different cards that show interest. These ships are sailing round and round, hunting for the Scorpio. We start out with somebody who is not like investigating, but it's as if Scorpio by nature is appealing and attractive and alluring. This is someone who's like, they've traveled the world through the jungles, and they have rarely seen such an interesting specimen. Now, this is not to make it sound like Scorpio is some oddity, but I will say both of these characters coming across as if they are a unique individual, which is absolutely beautiful. Now, Scorpio themselves seems to come across as someone who is very, if this is representing them, they're more logical right now. They're more in their headspace. This could also represent someone in particular who is matching the Scorpio's energy and being logical. And, they're paying close attention, but we can see that this character is primarily very busy plucking their stars out of the night sky and adorning their own garment with it. Meaning it's like somebody who's going after their dreams, their wishes. They're very focused on kind of like the winding path that they're taking through life. It almost seems as if this Scorpio had kind of like lived life according to kind of like a set of rules, and then maybe life kind of threw Scorpio around a little, and they said, you know what? I don't really know what's up or what's down anymore. Maybe my whole life is I'm kind of questioning a few things. I'm exploring and expanding a few different ways, trying to kind of figure out what it is that I want. And maybe that is partly why the Scorpio is coming across as this enigma. But let me tell you, the byproduct of Scorpio kind of doing their own thing is that it's attracting attention, but Scorpio just doesn't seem to be aware of it. Now, that's fine if they don't want anything right now, but and they kind of look like they're intentionally avoiding things. So it's kind of like that message of, if Scorpio's not ready, then absolutely they're not going to allow something to come and find them. But don't for a moment think that Scorpio is just invisible. What's the message from the universe? The Chariot, the Nine of Staves, and the King of Staves. The message from the universe is that keep moving forward and don't give up on love, because if this character wants it, if our Scorpio wants it, there is like whatever Scorpio didn't have before, there's somebody who is going to deliver that in a double dose heaping like platter full. Somebody who is extremely passionate, possibly like you notice that there's two male lions on here. This is a King of Wands who is like extremely like heart-centered. This is a protector, this is a lover, this is everything. We have two lions here and we have two lions here. This is like the universe is simply saying, Scorpio, if you are master of your own chariot, you already know that. You always have been. You call the shots. But the day that you are ready, and if you just need time and space, that's fine too. But just know you are in charge of everything, including what kind of energy comes into your world. No one's going to step a toe on your turf, not when you got lions like this all over the place. No one steps a toe onto your turf until you're darn good and ready. But when you're ready, everything that you want is there in a double dosing heap. So it's very much up to the Scorpio, but Scorpio may have to be the one who comes down from that lighthouse and lets themselves actually kind of become the pursuer. This is like saying anybody that Scorpio is interested in is going to drop at Scorpio's feet. They're going to be more than a little bit like thrilled and chilled if Scorpio is giving them attention, because Scorpio has been the elusive, the hard to capture, the hard to understand, the person that nobody knows, like, does Scorpio say anything? Did they say that they're interested? Have you talked to them? All right. So Any other final messages here? We have a 9 of Swords. Hold on, because 9 of Swords is about stress. If there's a stressful thing going on here, we got a Queen of Wands. The remedy for whatever stress is don't sit alone and get concerned about anything. The more that the Scorpio fills their life with, and this sounds contradictory because we've seen them wanting to isolate, but this actually says the more Scorpio wants to alleviate stress, it's going to come from them being out and being seen when that's not what they've wanted to do. But it kind of looks like too much time for rumination could be causing extra stress. Now, if the Scorpio has been thinking that they don't look attractive, this card says, "Are you freaking kidding?" Um, this is someone who could have really high standards for body image, masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. This could be somebody who's like, "Well, I've always had a 6-pack, and right now I only have a 4-pack," and it's like, oh my gosh. Nobody needs to think about the minutia and details. The very essence of Scorpio is sensual and alluring. But I wonder if they haven't said, "I don't look like I used to. I've this, I'm that." And it's like they're kind of possibly spending too much time imagining that they don't meet their own incredibly high physical standards that they just have for themselves. And this says, oh my gosh, the if Scorpio kind of like in being alone for a while has lost that confidence a little bit, the thing that'll bring it back is go out and walk into a room and notice how many heads turn. This Scorpio is so much more attractive than what they give themselves credit for. But it's easy to kind of start to imagine ourselves or not see ourselves with a fair set of eyes when we've been kind of just left to our own devices for too long. So this says, get out and strut is what that message is. Scorpios, thanks again for being here. If you do enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. Next up, Cancerian. You guys are coming in at 1658. Just FYI, guys, we're going to do all of the water signs, then we'll do earth, then we'll do fire, and then end with air. All right, Cancerians, let's start out with whatever the kind of this is about love message. This is for singles, okay? We've got a Queen of Cups. There's our Cancerian right there. We've got the Strength card, and we've got the 8 of Swords. So in regards to love in general, this actually says that our Cancerian has kind of been holding on to a particular idea of of what they want to give their love to. They have the strength to be an amazing partner, but right now they're not listening to their little guardian angels that might be trying very hard to nudge the Cancerian forward and say, "Hey, sweetheart, all that love you've got to give, like you got to get out there and give it to somebody." And it's like, we know that anyone's going to be lucky enough to have Cancerians. Like, this is an incredibly loyal person. They may still be loyal though to the memory of someone that they are not actually interacting with, and they still haven't recognized that they're not hearing a very important message from their little angels from the universe because they squashed that gentle guidance. Let me ask, what is that referencing? We have got a Page of Cups in the reverse and a 4 of Pentacles. Honestly, the little guidance here is like this. It's like the little angels want Cancerian to actually be the one to flip the script over, and instead of them saying, "I can't help it, I've still kind of like wanted to give somebody space to and I've wanted to be really patient with someone. Yes, I'm single, I identify as single, but somewhere deep down in my heart I'm still holding a lot of love for somebody, and I'm not listening to what my little angels are saying," which the angels are saying, that person needed to be taught some lessons, some rules. Scorpio, maybe they're dealing with a Scorpio. Cancerian needed to go ahead and like say, excuse me, anyone who can't come in with an apology for their behavior does not get to step a toe into my personal headspace. They do not get to live in my head rent free. It's almost like the little guardian angels are kind of like me when I always call myself the mean big sister who's overly protective sometimes. It's like the little angels are like, Scorpio, why do I keep saying this? Cancerian, Cancer, why are you still holding on to any little soft spot for someone who really, look, someone might have been kind of a jerk to Cancer, and it's like the little angels are like, Cancer, put an end to any of that memory of like, well, but that person, I still care for them. And it's like, no, no, no. It doesn't mean we can't still care for someone, but we shouldn't give them more consideration than what we give ourselves, because this is somebody who has so much love to give. And it's almost like this single person would have still been willing to give second chances. Now, obviously, if whatever a character wants to do is up to them, right? But this message is not one of like, oh yeah, Cancerian, hold space a little bit longer, think really fond memories, give somebody more consideration. It's like, actually, no. How would we behave? The only thing, like the angels are saying, expect someone to meet you the same place that you would arrive at. Expect the same from someone else that you would expect from yourself. Did you receive the consideration? Did you receive the understanding? If the answer is no, then why are we overly giving to someone else? I know this sounds kind of rude, but that's the interpretation on that, is to hold back and not overly contemplate someone else's circumstances. Oh, the message from the universe, look at that. Draw a nice line in the sand. Our Cancer gets to have a brand new everything. They're going to see the world through different eyes as soon as they actually draw a line between what they've known and what they should expect to receive. I feel like this is a story where this is kind of like a pump up for our lead character. Like they maybe haven't asked for a whole lot. They've always been a giver, and the universe is like, we want you to expect better because you deserve better. So expect that the next people who come into your life, the next person that comes into your life, is not going to be anything like what you've known in the past, because you deserve better than what you've known in the past. Draw a line between the past and what you'll accept nowadays. Ooh, I like this. This is so so sassy. All right, so anything else for Cancer? And we have got the 9 of coins in the reverse. Cancer is not going to be single very much longer, because especially with the 5 of swords, with the serpent wrapped around it, everything is changing. The need to kind of like, I feel like this Cancer has probably been keeping people at bay a little bit. It looks like we're not going to be single for much longer because we got a Page of Cups coming in. We have a Tower. This is going to rock Cancer's world. 6 of Swords. This is going to get them moved on from that final, whatever that final little, I don't want to say blockage, but the tendency toward like being overgiving and not realizing that maybe they were still holding a little bit of space for somebody else, even though they've identified as single. Still, this Cancerian in this story, it's almost as if what's coming in next is going to be unlike anything that they've ever had, which is so lovely to see. The fact that it's going to up the ante. I feel like this is going to be a whole different kind of experience for the Cancerian. It could be someone who's very much out of their realm. This person could show up as someone who is younger than them, somebody that Cancer was like, I would never picture myself dating somebody even 6 months younger than me. I don't do that. And it's like, oh no, they could fall for somebody who is totally different, somebody who they meet on a vacation, somebody who I don't know, just kind of steps into their world in an unexpected manner. This could be someone who almost like offers them a hand, whatever, that somebody, they're on vacation, they stumble and somebody catches their arm, and it's like, next thing they know, they're going out to dinner with this person. It feels very unexpected. It feels like something that Cancer first instinct is no. And then because that serpent is there, they're like, well, there's no harm in having a cup of coffee with this person. I feel as if it's going to come kind of out of the blue. And then we got the World card in the reverse. What's surprising about this is, by the way, just because I see all of the colors of the rainbow, just as a side note, we could be talking about like a LGBTQ community. That caught my attention really brightly there. This is something where it's like, it's going to just click for this Cancerian. Now, I don't read for genders or anything like that, so that part is irrelevant, but I do want to make a note of that. The other interpretation on this, rainbows always remind me of Hawaii, and then just in general, the colors of life. So whomever this is could be someone who is from a very different part of the world and unexpectedly happens to be living in the same location, because the World card can be about international travel. This could be someone where we meet somebody while we're in an unusual place, and then it turns out they don't live that far away from us after all. You know, sometimes I'll say this: once upon a time, I was in Rome and I was standing in line waiting to go into an opera at this very small church, and the people in front of me were from the same state that I was from, and it was just unexpected. And even though, I mean, if you're an American, you know our states are pretty big. So just because we live in the same state doesn't really mean that we are like necessarily simpatico or in the same vibe. But it was like we were best friends because we met on, you know, just an unexpected thing. Like, what are the odds on that when you're in a very foreign place? And I feel like it could be something like that. It's an unexpected attachment that could be formed, but it's I feel like Cancerian resists it just a little bit at first. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much, Cancerian. If you do enjoy my art, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to the channel. All right, next up, and briefly, guys, I will mention Pisces came in at 39 seconds. Scorpio was at 9:43. Cancer was at 16:58. And now we're going to go to Ophiuchus. And after that, I'll be doing all of the earth energy, then the fire, and then into the air. But Ophiuchus is now coming in at 25:57. Ophiuchus, welcome. Hey guys. So this is a single storyline. This is for those that identify as singles. So we're not talking about exes or anything like that, but this is a love message, maybe a self-love message and message from the universe. So let's see what we get here. I thought I would do it this way. Hey guys, good to see everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. All right, here we go. So Ophiuchus, we got a 10 of swords in the reverse. We have the Fool in the upright. Ooh, we have a 6 of cups. And we have a 3 of wands in the upright. There is this little, I'm going to say, bittersweet farewell. It's a bon voyage of a message first off. And this is, you know, it's a love message for starters. Sunbeam, moonbeam, what are you doing? What are you doing? These are fictional stories, sweetheart. I'm not wrong about you because I don't know you, honey. I was never talking about you. Please don't start listening to fictional stories and then get angry when I'm never talking about anybody here, okay? You got to understand that. Please read the about section on every channel so that you understand I don't predict people's lives, okay, honey? So you can just delete that comment for me now, okay? Have a better night. Okay, so here we go. Ophiuchus, we've got a storyline of a character, a fictional character, like all of mine are about. This is a story where I feel like there is a little bit of a bittersweet farewell because it's time to depart. It's time to take this wonderful, you know, like movement forward and to go into our next phase of life, this next journey, this next adventure. And that next adventure is to connect with other soulmates. It's like the awareness that when when one situation in life kind of like closes out, it's because maybe we've completed a journey with like the energy of who we connect with. We might complete something as well as it's going to be completed. And sometimes it's like, this one's kind of sucks that it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. But at the same time, that's okay because there's a lot of other, well, gosh, what is it, 8 billion people on the planet now that could be kindred spirits. So I'm ready to sail into the future and meet the next amazing person. And I already know that there is a next amazing person out there. I almost feel as if this is kind of the story of a Fucus who is like shifting gears, right? We see them literally going from, you know, second to third gear. And it's like, yeah, kind of sucks a little bit to say goodbye to one thing, but I'm off into the clear blue sky to see what's up ahead. So it's really one of the excitement of what comes in next. Lindsay D. Ophiuchus is the 13th zodiac. Actually, the sun transits through that longer than it does even through Scorpio, but it kind of sits near Scorpio. So some people observe Ophiuchus, some people do not. But you can read up on it a little bit if you want. It's a really cool zodiac, or you can check out the playlist Ophiuchus, and there's even a storyline in there that I put in there probably last year, where I explain kind of the constellation of Ophiuchus. So Ophiuchus, the message from the universe is the Lover's card. It's just that confirmation that, yes, we in life there's going to be lots of amazing people that could match us well. And if one doesn't, definitely we want to remember that it's probably because maybe we've grown out of one situation and we're growing into a new connection. The Lover's card is a card of choice. It is Gemini vibe. But more than anything, it's like the reminder that we want to choose somebody that we vibe with on that really like raw level, that super realistic, like I don't have to feel embarrassed or hide any part of myself from this person, nor do they have to hide themselves from me. Let's see, anything else here for Ophiuchus? We have got the Judgment card in the reverse, the 10 of Cups upright, and the 3 of Cups in the reverse. So this is actually, oh, this is nice. This is, Ophiuchus is ready to, I'm going to say, I said this before when this card had come out. We see these people that instead of being mermaid people, they're actually part fish and part human. It doesn't mean that Ophiuchus is somehow like this, otherworldly creature, but who they're looking for is going to be really, really, really unique. It's going to be someone who is just as unique as they are. This could be someone who has the same very, let's see, I'm trying to think of like an obscure like nationality, one that you don't meet very often. Someone who is kind of like, let's say I haven't met very many people that are of the Basque region in my lifetime. Like literally, I've only met one person. Now, of course, that's probably because I live, in the United States, so we don't have a lot of Basque community, at least where I was raised. So I haven't met a lot of people that are of the Basque community. But my point is, I just feel like this could represent someone who's going to be meeting a person that matches them, and it's like, wow. Oh, and even the fact that this is Ophiuchus, right? It's the 13th zodiac. And I'm glad Lindsay brought that up because it's like, yeah, this is kind of special, kind of unique, So it's going to be like they meet someone as unique as them. Maybe it is a fellow Ophiuchus that they meet. And that's kind of unusual. But we've got that Judgment in the reverse. So Scorpio energy here. And then to have that 3 of Cups, it's like neither person is under any misconception that like, oh, maybe I'm not sure about what I want. Maybe I'm still looking. Maybe like if Ophiuchus has very firm beliefs that I want something that I can count on 100%, and I have like maybe monogamy is very important to me. I don't ever want any kind of third party energy whatsoever, and my view on what I consider a third party is like, a very specific guidelines. This person has the identical guidelines. There's no left. I'm not friends with exes. I don't like to say friends with exes. This person's like, staying friends with exes. Heck no, I don't do that either. Drives me bananas when people do that. And it's just like they just mesh. This isn't to say they're right or wrong. It's just to say they mesh. This is a perfect 10 of Cups. So it's highly specific, but it's like Ophiuchus is finding exactly what suits them. You notice that there's a lot of relaxed energy on those cards also, in the sense of that 10 of Cups. They're just kicked back staring at the ocean. The idea of what Ophiuchus enjoys, what they think is like a really nice time, that could be exactly the same kind of thing that this other person likes as well. Like, yeah, I just like to kick it. I just like to lay back and just enjoy and just have a really nice time. So it's just nice to see companionship like that. All right. Next up, Ophiuchus, thank you, by the way, for being here. Thank you for just hanging out. And if you do enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. Next up, we're going to Virgo. Virgo, we're going to come in at 33.49 for you. All right, Virgos. So this is a singles storyline. It is a love reading. I guess I have to say this all the time, all over again. These are always fictional stories. So have fun with these, but just know I'm not talking about you. I don't know you, darling. These are fictional stories for inspiration, for fun. So let's see. Virgos. Knight of Pentacles. Something is slowly moving toward the Virgo. Could also be that the Virgo's personal journey through life has become quite enjoyable. There's a lot of growth happening here. it is kind of like enjoying a journey. This kind of seems like a Virgo who maybe has been single for a period of time. Oh, definitely, because we have a Three of Pentacles in the reverse. This Virgo could like identify as, yeah, I'm all right. I'm on my own. I'm doing my own thing. And I don't necessarily want anyone to. I almost feel like this is a single Virgo who has said, I don't want somebody else to help me build this phase of my life because I kind of want it to all be my name on it. I don't want someone else's, like to take half credit for what I'm doing. And that could sound a little bit rude, but it's almost like I kind of got this. I got this phase of my own life, and it's really important that I keep growing the way I want to instead of having to. I feel like this is a very self-possessed Virgo who kind of knows what they want and they know what works for them. And so to collaborate and cooperate at this phase is not really what they're hungry for. I think that this person is enjoying exactly where they're at, so they're single for a reason. And yet we have a King of Wands and we have a Five of Swords. This is an interesting story. I said, this is a love message and it's going to be different every time, but this almost looks like somebody is a little bit bummed out that Virgo won't accept their help. That Virgo is operating as like a very powerful person who has laid out their own like roadmap in life, and they're acting as a divine masculine, even if they identify as feminine. They're just chugging on forward, and it's interesting because someone else is kind of pretending to be very heartbroken, like, oh, Virgo hurt me so bad. And it's just interesting because Virgo is the single individual, but with that Five of Swords, it's like someone is bent out of shape that Virgo won't allow their life plan right now to be altered. I'm wondering though if, hold on, let me get one more card here. We have the Emperor and we have the King of Cups. I think someone is assuming that the Virgo is not going to let them in. And I don't think that that's necessarily correct. I just think that they have pretty defined guidelines as to what avenues of their life they're still busy working on and they don't want to be disrupted in. And then as far as like romance is concerned, I feel like the Virgo is open for that. It simply is, they're just in charge of certain aspects of their life. They're not really, someone who is blocking anyone from coming in emotionally. But if someone tries to like treat them as if, here, Virgo, I need to come in and save you and do this and do that for you, the Virgo's kind of like, actually, no, I'm good. I got it. Like I've run my life for a long time. It's almost like Virgo's more open to romance, but not to have somebody tell them how their life needs to go because they're pretty much already in charge of that. This could be someone who is they've already done a lot in their life. You notice how this is actually a feminine emperor, and they're like, look, I've run a big company. I've dealt with a lot of different struggles in life already. I'm pretty competent. But would I love a partnership? Sure. And that's the thing. The right partner is going to understand that. And they're going to see, oh, that's the doorway to Virgo's heart. They don't want me to come in and like micromanage their life and tell them that, here, I can help you. You're obviously struggling. And it's like, I ain't struggling. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, if you want to come in and be a companion to me, then respect me first. I think that's the big message that's coming across on that. Okay, what's the universe got to say? What's the message from the universe? It's nice though, because somebody already does understand this. That was a very pitiful shuffle, by the way. We got an Ace of Swords, we got a Prince of Staves, and we got the Princess of Swords. The universe is saying, all right, as far as the Virgo goes, they perhaps are not really recognizing, and they should recognize that there is passion waiting for them if they would like it. There is somebody who is, if only Virgo would give them like even a glance, Virgo could kind of have anybody in the room that they want. Now, granted, this is like, this is going to be like a very progressive Virgo who would be like, oh, you mean I could take on a lover if I wanted one? Well, sure, of course. And I don't think that they've necessarily seen that, but what they're looking for, um, they may not know it, but someone doesn't know how else to approach. So they're coming in like a Prince of Wands is like all about the passion. I think people are awkward with Virgo because I'm having trouble finding the right words to say this. They're a little bit awkward when they come into Virgo because they don't know. I think Virgo gives off a vibe a little bit of like, you know, people don't know how to approach and feel vulnerable around this Virgo because the Virgo doesn't really have a big need for someone, or at least that's the vibe they give off. They're very self-sufficient. And so instead somebody comes in, well, okay, maybe I can offer passion. And yet if the Virgo doesn't notice that they want to come in and offer passion, and then really what they want is to have the Virgo be interested enough to get to know them and vice versa, a Virgo could be like, oh, everybody just comes in with a line. They just come up and they, whatever. They're just messing around. I don't take these people serious. And it's almost like they don't know how else to approach because Virgo comes across as very self-sufficient. So instead, people may take a more lighthearted, flirtatious approach, trying to keep it funny and light. And Virgo's like, God, nobody is ever coming in that feels serious at all. And it's like, that's their overture. So it's just kind of an interesting way. Like, we won't really know if someone is coming in just for passion or if they're actually coming in and there's more to get to know about them unless we get a chance to really see what they're about. And it just kind of is an interesting message because it's like a Virgo might not scare people. It's not like that. It's just that when someone is so self-sufficient, other people might not know, like, could Virgo really be interested in me? I don't know. So I'll try to walk up and find some courage and say something to him. And Virgo's like, oh, here we go again. Somebody who's just a player. And it's like, actually, no, there might be a lot more to get to know about something. That first approach might not be the best way to approach the Virgo, but we might still want to just wait and reserve judgment a little bit on the people that are approaching. Okay, hang on. This deck is a mess right now. We only have one card that came out, but the rest of the deck is like, okay, there we go. So 6 of coins in the reverse. Hold on. This is where I ask any other messages here, and we've got the deck went into chaos in my hands, and we've got a King of Cups upright. So second time we've seen a King of Cups. We've got the Empress, and we got the Star. I have to say, here's the thing. For this Virgo, there is really only one right match. And I don't mean that there's only one person and Virgo's got to go out and find that one person. I'm saying there's billions of people on this planet that, there's like similar patterns of behavior and such, but the right blend of energy seems to be like there's a very specific blend of energy that would work for this particular character. It's one where the Virgo is always going to be powerful. Maybe they had to make themselves into someone who could always rely on themselves. We've seen an Empress and a female Emperor now to depict the Virgo. And we've seen both times that they match well with a King of Cups. This doesn't mean that Virgo needs to be in charge or they need to be, at a higher status than their mate. It's more along the lines of somebody has to understand that this Virgo, maybe they came to this planet with like some skills, and where they shine most is doing kind of specific types of things in life. And to have a partner who loves that about them instead of feels challenged could be exactly the ticket. That's exactly what would work. That would be the wish fulfillment. Somebody who's super loving and also emotionally comfortable in themselves, so they don't feel like, oh, great, I'm supposed to find a way to make everything better for Virgo, and they won't let me come in and take charge because they already have charge of whatever they're. I'm picturing like this could be a Virgo that maybe they work in some, like a really high stress industry. Maybe this person is like a doctor or something, and their partner does not have to be a doctor as well, but they would want a partner perhaps who understands kind of like, hey, this is the realm that I walk through. I love what I do. And it does require me to, maintain a certain amount of control over the environment that I walk through because I have to make a lot of decisions. But I also really want to be loved. I want someone who loves me and doesn't look at me like, oh, yeah, here you are, always trying to show me up, always trying to one up me, because that is so not what the situation is. And it seems like that's the thing this situation would be the dream come true, and anything less than that is always going to feel imbalanced. So it's kind of like this Virgo is destined to have a partnership that is going to be someone who admires exactly who they are without being intimidated, I'll say, of the way they live their life. So very, very lovely, because there's an awesome energetic connection out there that exists for this character, but it's a little bit like that's the kind of partnership that would jive, at least according to what we've seen here, right? All right, Virgos, if you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to the channel. Let me know you enjoy this fictional storytelling. All right, so real quick, just a recap before I go on to Capricorn. Pisces came in at 39 seconds. Scorpio came in at 9:43. Cancer was at 16:58. Ophiuchus was at 25:57. Virgo was 33:49. And now Capricorn. You guys, hi, everybody. Thanks so much for being here tonight. You guys are awesome. So now we've got Capricorn, and you guys are coming in at 45:22. All right, Capricorn, this is a single storyline. It is kind of a love message, self-love message, message from the universe, and then kind of like anything else that pops out. Ooh, Capricorn, what's this about? You got a whole bunch. So we've got a Page of Swords. Ooh, Capricorn has graduated. They've got wishes about to come true because they've learned basically the secret art of how to manifest. They've learned pieces of information in life that are going to serve them so well. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, and you can see that their heart drives everything, right? Look at all these gears and wheels. It's like, wow, the secret to manifesting is what I really want is what I call in for myself. Someone has discovered that living their life through the eyes of love, like, oh, I love this career, that's why I'm pursuing it. I love like what this career offers me, so that's why I'm pursuing it. It's all about someone who has figured out that the best way to enjoy their life is to consistently figure out, if this is a thing I want to do, I need to learn, the skill sets in order to be successful in that, because I'm going to love doing that. And all of this has served this character very well. Their life is moving in the direction that they want it to as a single individual. We have a Knight of Pentacles, we have a King of Swords, and we have a High Priestess. Ooh la la. And because everything is moving forward now in the way this Capricorn has wanted to arrange their life, it's almost like I feel like this person wants to travel. I feel like this person has big plans for what they want to achieve, like in the next 20 years. It's like, in 3 years I'm going to do this, then in 5 years I'm going to do that, then in 10 years I'm going to have this, and then by 20 years from now I'm going to have this huge thing. This is a Capricorn with like a plan in mind. They've already put the plan in action. They've got all the skills to make their dreams become a reality. They are loving their journey. And the one part that, we can plan all kinds of stuff in life. The one part that is kind of like, I don't want to say the wild card, but I don't know if this Capricorn is aware that, and the reason I'm going to say I feel like they don't know who their mate is going to be, because we only see one eye, right? The bird swoops in, and the birds are messengers. And it's almost like I think someone is going to fall head and over heels in love with the Capricorn, and the Capricorn couldn't have predicted that. But deep down, they've known that somehow, some way, in the next couple years or something along those lines, I'm going to wind up with someone. I don't know how I know that. I just know it. But they can't predict who it is, because I think that person is going to be the one who falls in love with Capricorn. They're going to see the Capricorn in a very different way. It's like this little bird could be, whatever, it's Cupid's arrow. It's a messenger that this person, this King of Swords, gets and says, that person is high quality. I like this Capricorn. And so I kind of feel like, even though the Capricorn knows, because everything in their life is starting to turn in the direction that they want it to go, they're like, one good thing creates another, and I know everything is possible, and I've got this awesome, whatever, 10 or 20 year plan for myself. But what I'm sure of is that somehow, some way, there's somebody awesome on the horizon for me. But why can't I figure out who it is because that person is going to fall for the Capricorn. And that's the part that's like the wild card. Oh, look at that. I've got one of the cards in the wrong deck. 3 of Wands. I said in the next couple years, maybe it's 3 years, of this growth and this kind of like this could be a friendship that evolves over the course of a couple of years until finally somebody is looking at the Capricorn with a whole new eyes, like, "Oh my god, you're you're someone that you started as a friend and you became so much more. Capricorn, how could I not have seen, everything that you are until now?" I feel like this person it's a very honorable person, whoever that King of Swords is. Okay, so message from the universe, though. We've got a Nine of Swords. This says, Capricorn, don't work so much that it's exhausting, though, because, that he's sweating, just like sweating buckets here. I feel like this is the stress of, when we make a plan, that's awesome. But if at any point in time we're working so much that even though it's for something that we want, still, too much intensity and drive can be exhausting. And certainly there's times in life where things are just busy, but this kind of says not to have to set like a pace and say, I have to get to this mark by year 2 because I promised myself that was part of my 10-year, my 20-year plan. We got a Princess of Sacred Circles. The universe is just saying, but everything has its season. So even if there's gaps of time where it feels like I'm not moving forward in my plan, look, it's not just about planting the corn, having the corn grow. Then it's also about like once we pick the corn, now we got to let it dry and then we got to grind it. And then finally we have a usable product. But when we actually wind up eating that corn, could be way further on down the road. So, not to think that it's just like, I got to plant the corn and harvest it. It's like, yeah, but maybe we're not going to eat it as fresh corn. Maybe then we're going to let it dry. So, the kind of success that our Capricorn is going to have, it could come and go and ebb and flow in seasons, but don't think that nothing is happening because this says there are times where, when some of our work has been accomplished, we get to shift our energy over to something else. And everything is just as important. You notice she has one little baby here, but she's actually pregnant here as well. So it's like sometimes we get so busy paying just attention to one little baby, we forget. Guess what? We actually have two. And this one needs just as much care. She's got to take good care of herself. So there is a message here about self-care, about enjoying the journey enough to not like push ourselves so hard. Ongoing Awakening, thank you so much. Thank you everybody who's here. Thank you, Ongoing Awakening. That is such a beautiful donation. I appreciate you so much. I just like this message so much for Capricorn also, just because it's so kind and it's so supportive and it's so like spot on with, Capricorns have that reputation of being really hard workers. All right, so what else? Any other little messages? We have got, the Fool, the Page of Coins. We got the Wheel of Fortune, and we got the Six of Cups. This is like everything is coming up roses right now for our Capricorn. This could be someone who needs, in the downtime that they still create for themselves, they might want to start trying out new things. I don't know, maybe somebody wants to start playing an instrument, but it's like, don't forget to kick up our heels and dance and oh my gosh, and dance and have a really good time. um there's such a wonderful opportunity to just enjoy life, and to really know that things are moving in the right direction. And so creating space for the time that we spend with family members, with y- this is about kindred spirits, it's about soulmates, and making space to have that fun is so important. This could also be, when somebody gets to see us in our silly mood, and definitely everybody has their silly mood, right? Everybody has their just cut loose, dance it up, do something unexpected. I mean, this person's like dancing kind of like on the looks like the Great Wall of China. Um, the unexpected, quirky, fun side of Capricorn. This is like let it shine. People love that as well. Um, and that's a way to connect with other kindred spirits and other soul group mates. Sometimes we build the best friendships during times of silliness, and then when the chips are down and stuff gets hard, that's like a really wonderful, I'm going to say, like, I don't want to use the word resource to apply it to like a relationship with a human, but people do bolster us and we bolster them and we keep each other going during tough times. It just looks like Capricorn's got time enough to have fun and enough time to have, hard work, but it looks like they're going to meet some other really cool people when they allow themselves to do something unexpected or to be spontaneous or to have that fun. I like the fact that this is all about it's joyful. It's a really joyful storyline for our Capricorn. So all right, let's go ahead and keep on moving on. And next up, we are going to go to Taurus. Oh, and Capricorn, thank you guys very much. If you do enjoy the stories, please do give them a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. All right, Taurus, you guys are coming in at 5444. All right, Taurus, this is a love, but for singles, and then also kind of like self-love, and then also one of those that's kind of more for just in general, like any other message that pops in from the universe. And I'm actually going to do yours a little different, Taurus. We're going to start out with a message from the universe. What's the universe got to say? Ooh, the Hanged One. I always look at this as a time of gestation, obviously, because things are about to go ahead and actually blossom. I'm thinking that the universe is saying, hey, this isn't a time where we're just sacrificing or we're bogged down. There's actually something going on under the surface, and we need to give something time to finish growing, and then it's going to blossom. This is like, Taurus, get ready. We got something wonderful that is about to be birthed into our lives. This could be something that Taurus wanted, or it could be something that Taurus is working on, and they didn't know how it's going to come to pass. King of Swords. We may have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. That this could be a boss, but it could be something like an opportunity that's going to be presented. You notice that this is like the 50-foot tall man, and he's literally like controlling the ocean. He's able to create like a hole in the ocean with just his sword. So it's almost as if an opportunity is going to be showing up for our Taurus that could be very unexpected. So that's just a kind of a nice side message. It's not one necessarily of like romantic love. It's more like the love of the universe that says, hey, Taurus, there's a lot of things that take time to come to pass, but what we are developing into, sometimes we're growing at just the rate that an opportunity or a doorway is being created for us. So there's much to look forward to. All right, so in the realm of love for this single storyline, we've got the Chariot and the upright Cancerian energy. Slow but consistent forward movement when it comes to love. I kind of feel like this could be talking about the Taurus. Ooh, and here we go, Taurus, Libra. Two major arcana. So love, in this case, there's something really serious on the horizon. It's worth taking the time. And there's the baby again. Maybe we've got somebody who wants to have a baby, or maybe it's just talking about the newness, the freshness. This is how do I say this? What is coming in for the Taurus, everything is about taking time. So it could be slow, which can be frustrating, but I don't think it is for a Taurus, because they tend to be like, hey, anything worth doing is worth doing well. Ace of Wands in the reverse, they don't want a fantasy. They're not interested in a fairy tale thing that isn't rooted in reality. They'd rather have it take more time and come to pass and be something that is tangible, something that is touchable, something that is real and true. I feel like this Taurus is like, I am cool with taking time to get to know somebody. I am cool with, I feel like this Taurus does probably date, but they're just like, yeah, I haven't met the right one yet, but it's okay because I'm not in a rush. I want the right person. We got a King of Wands. We got a Queen of Pentacles. We got the World, and we got the Sun. This looks very much to me like Taurus already knows that they want to expand their world. They're not under this misconception that whoever they meet, whoever is going to be their right person, is going to be someone who like is so similar to them. They don't have to speak the same language. They don't have to be somebody who like has lived the same life. Taurus is like, I'm not looking for somebody who's just like me. I'm looking for somebody who is maybe more worldly than I am, or maybe vice versa. I've traveled a lot. Now I want to be home. So I want to meet someone who wants the opposite things from what I've done. Or maybe it's the opposite. I've always been at home, or I've lived in one area, and I want to meet someone that is from a different part of the world. I want to meet someone who cooks different spicy food, or, something along those lines. Taurus is like, I want someone who broadens my horizon. So who I'm looking for is a complement, but someone who could be very different to me. You notice that we have a feminine on this card that actually is a king's card. So it could be like Taurus is saying, I want someone who's really attuned to their divine masculine and feminine energies. I want someone who is really giving, somebody who is really passionate, someone who can, like, I can grow more because they're in my life. You notice this person is kind of like dressed in a rose costume. Meanwhile, the Queen of Pentacles that would depict the Taurus, her entire dress is made out of tulips. So it's very much complementary and very different. I feel like Taurus wants their opposite complementary person. And I think that with the Sun card, I mean, sure, they could be a Leo. Maybe the Taurus is like, I'm real calm, so I like somebody fiery. This could be like, I want someone who challenges me, where we talk a lot, where we have awesome conversation, where we laugh a lot together. I want somebody who's fun and witty. This is like, if that's what I'm looking for, it's totally fine that it takes a while, because I'm interviewing for the right person. I'm not about to say, oh, universe, just give me someone. I'm lonely. This Taurus is not lonely. This Taurus is totally fine. They take whatever time they want to get to know someone, so that they really make sure it's going to deliver the expansion in their life. They don't want a smaller world. They want a larger world. And they want one that's really happy. I think that's super important to this Taurus, is that they have a joyful connection, not one where it's going to be, just intense and stressy, which I think that's really great. We got a 5 of Cups for an additional message here. I would say that if the Taurus has gone through a loss, this could be the way they deal with loss. They may be someone who finds a lot of solace in going to the ocean. They need time to just sit and deal with the sorrow and kind of just let nature wash it away for them. That could be something that they also need someone to understand. This Taurus could have also endured quite a bit of loss in their life, quite a bit of disappointment. Maybe that's why they want a partner who is more fun. Yeah, we got an Ace of Wands in the reverse. It's almost like this Taurus says, I need somebody who understands the way I deal with things. Is I kind of like, I do lay low for a little bit until I recharge my batteries. This says there are moments where I kind of lose energy, and that's okay. That's just how I handle it. And then I'm able to heal myself. I can see why we've seen it really be imperative that Taurus wants to take their time to have somebody who's going to be a bright light in their life, because they're like, hey, if I've known a lot of losses, I really would like, I feel like this Taurus is having a second chance at life. And so that's why they know it's really important that they select carefully, so they have a really happy second go at life. This is, Archangel Gabriel. This is bringing somebody back to life. I would say, Denise, thank you so much, sweetheart. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for your generosity. And thank you, everybody, for bringing your energy here and being so generous with your kindness. But this Judgment card, it's like our Taurus is aware that, yeah, I need to make the most out of this second chapter of my life. I almost feel like, and I don't like to dwell too much on painful things, but if our Taurus experienced a pretty significant loss in their life, um, they are that's maybe why they know how precious it is, how important it is to, like, really cherish life while we are lucky enough to be, driving this meat suit around, right? And I just think that they're not gonna waste a moment of it. They're gonna make sure that they make good decisions. So in the realm of love, man, this Taurus is a freaking catch. The person who is who is matching with this Taurus, no wonder they want somebody a little spicy. They want somebody passionate. They want somebody who's alive, but who's real all at the same time. It's like they want not a fairy tale, but like a life that is full of living. And I admire that so much. Good on you, Taurus. If you guys enjoy the storytelling, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. All right, next up, we're going to go into the fire signs. And let me recap quickly. So what we've already done now is Pisces came in at 39 seconds. Scorpio was at 9:13. Cancer was at 16:58. Ophiuchus was at 25:57. Virgo was 33:49. Capricorn was 45:22, and Taurus was it began at 54:44. All right, so Aries, you guys are up next. All right, Aries is coming at 104:24. All right, I hope I can read my writing later. And hold on, I accidentally put that next to Sag. Okay, Aries, here we go. Aries, this is a singles reading where we're going to touch on love, and we're also going to touch on self-love, and we're going to touch on any message from the universe. All right, so let's just see what we got. What's our story right now on Aries? Aries, we have got 8 of Pentacles. We got 8 of Swords, 2 8s, and a 4 of Wands. In the realm of love, it kind of looks like there's a little gap here. And it's probably because we're really busy at work right now. This is a single person who is pretty consumed with everything but love at the moment. And that's fine, right? But there is this wonderful 4 of Wands up ahead. It's just, I don't think that our Aries has yet found maybe the time or the energy to focus on it because, well, they're on a hot streak right now with their creative energy. If this is about their career, if this is an Aries who's just like on fire, they want so much to do like something really fabulous and they're enjoying it. This is not someone who's just like, oh, every day it's just a drag and I do the same old thing. This is an Aries that is like, the things I'm doing is like, I'm changing people's lives. I'm changing my own life. I am like, I've got this kind of like I want to say a burst or a bolt of energy, like a bolt of lightning kind of, that is propelling me forward, and that creative flow is being like shunted into this one direction. And so I'm not hearing kind of that my little guardian angels are trying to talk to me. I'm not really hearing them because I'm otherwise distracted. And the little angels over here might be trying to like nudge this character to be like, hey, I know you're on a hot streak, but just know when you're this creative and when you're this powerful, you really sparkle and shine. You're super attractive. And this might be a time to really use that electric energy to call in a person who would be a great match for you. So even though it's awesome to be like all focused on this hot streak that you're on with your work and everything, don't forget that there's a lot of people that are, well, maybe there's even one very particular person that you might be like in that perfect vibe, that perfect frequency to connect with someone. So it's just kind of like a reminder to look up once in a while. This could be somebody who's like, they get so jazzed. I'm picturing like, in the movies when someone is like a scientist and they're so focused on stuff and they're so intelligent and they're so smart and they don't even notice that like their colleague is like swooning over them, and it's just like it's so not on their register. Yeah, I kind of think that without meaning to, Aries might be breaking somebody's heart a little bit because they just haven't noticed them. Aries is just busy right now. Because somebody's got this poor little burned out heart space, and it's like, oh my gosh, they don't even know I'm alive. Aries might be overlooking somebody right now, is what this little love message is all about. But what's awesome is that Aries is digging their own life. I mean, that's really cool. But are they doing that at the detriment? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Aries has no idea how attractive they are. I mean, look at her. She's gorgeous, right? She shines really bright. Everybody can see the Aries, but she's just casually kind of like, huh? What? Somebody was calling out my name? Oh, I didn't even notice. Sorry, I was, figuring whatever, some calculations. I wasn't paying attention. I think that this Aries has no clue how attractive they are to others. So it's kind of like taking some time for them to maybe start to become aware of it. Now, the day that they do choose to become aware of it, they're going to notice, look at how many people have been buzzing around them all this time. I just feel like this Aries is totally oblivious, but they're just about to turn around and spot the fact that, oh, you mean everybody's been looking at me? Yeah, everybody's been looking at you, Aries. That's cute. Message from the universe says Four of Cups and Queen of Sacred Circles. Um, this is just a side note, and it may not be very important, but it might be kind of soothing for our character to hear that there is someone who has huge, huge, huge regrets about the way things went down with Aries. Someone who they might have thought Aries was their long term, like that's the person I want to, grow old with. That's the person I want to have kids with. That's my person. And they mess something up. And that's just kind of, and we're not talking about exes in the single stories, but this message is what we see it as, right? And the message from the universe is Aries, don't think that you didn't make an impact on somebody's life, because Aries made a major impact on that person's life, whoever they were. And that person will forever think about the Aries. They will always remember that that was the person that I respect, the person that, I can see them moving forward in life, and I can see they're going to have an amazing life, and they're building this incredible life for themselves that I don't get to be a part of. So it's not to make Aries sad. It's more just like, sometimes it sucks because things end and you don't know, well, I don't think that person ever even noticed me or ever thought of me or thinks of me. And this storyline would say, yeah, somebody misses the Aries and always will. They know exactly what the worth and value was of that Aries, and they regret always the way things shook out. Okay, any other message here for our Aries? We have got, we've got a Two of Swords, a Judgment, the Nine of Coins, and the Five of Swords. First off, the Nine of Coins actually stands out to me more than anything, partially because of the way she is dressed. This does look like the Aries. The side note here is Aries has a certain panache, a certain je ne sais quoi, something uniquely their own. And it carries through, they've got like a certain flair. If this person was a performer, like, even if I'm thinking like a variety show or something, but really people come to see the Aries do their thing. If the Aries works in a restaurant or something, the people that come to sit at the lunch counter every day, they're not really coming for the food. They're coming for the way Aries, like chit chats with them. They're coming for this unique energy. And the Aries doesn't let anybody get too close from what we can see here. And that makes them a little bit more alluring. But this is something that is starting to change. I feel like in this case, Archangel Gabriel is kind of coming in to like say, hey, um, Aries, are you sure that you don't want to, like, you know, notice a little bit? Because this is still someone standing here not seeing, right? They're still blindfolded and they've kind of got their arms crossed, like, um, well, yeah, I'm just doing my thing. It doesn't matter to me that, why anybody is looking my way. And it's like, well, we might want to alter that just a little bit. And this is not to say that Aries is being like self-centered or calculating or cold or anything like that. It's more as if I just think the Aries has been used to doing everything for themselves and not believing that they're making such an impact in others' lives. They've actually been closed off to the concept of that. And this is like, it's time to revive that knowledge that when we interact with another human, we do make an impact on each other. And that's a good thing. That's what we're here to do. So Aries doesn't know they make other people's day better. They may be giving strength to others. But they also come across as super attractive, super alluring. And that's what I said at the beginning. This card, they've got a certain way that they dress. I mean, look at this brilliant blue paired with like this kind of like maroon bustier thing going on, and this really interesting like hat and glove set. I don't know. It's just, somebody could also have kind of a unique pet who's really well trained in this, just because she does have a falcon. But everything about this character just says unique, unique, unique. And people that are uniquely themselves and just walking through this world without caring whether or not people approve of them or disapprove of them, that becomes a huge inspiration. And think of if this character wanted to actually pay attention to those they're inspiring a little bit more and actually connect a little bit deeper, think of how much more inspiration they might share. So it's just kind of a nice little side vibe. So D'Orly, yes, sweetheart, I did do Virgo. I did Virgo at 33:49, honey, and I will time stamp these later. Anyway, thank you guys very much. Aries, I am delighted that you popped by. If you do enjoy my art, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. All right, so next up, we are going to go on to Sagittarius. Hold on just a second. Sag, you guys are coming in at 1:14:18. All right, Saggies, welcome, welcome. I'm going to do a single storyline, but it is kind of a love message and maybe a self-love message and a message from the universe. So let's just see where this one takes us. All right, we have got a 3 of Cups in the reverse and an Ace of Swords upright. Sag, this starts out by saying, and this is the love message part of this, it starts out by saying, sound rude, but none of the other ones were good enough. And what I mean is, Sag kind of has they're tapped into the universal flow here. They wear a coat that's covered in the galaxy, for goodness sakes. Their head is the nautilus shell. This is a super like deep person. They look for truth. They care very much about like maybe the entire planet. Maybe they're very like attuned to the fact that, you know, we're part of the cosmos and it's kind of a gift to be here. And we see this person, they're a thinker. They're and they may think about things that not everyone can keep pace with them on in conversation. And so there may have been love relationships in the past that didn't work out because they didn't, I'm going to say, kind of keep up with the more expansive mindset that our Sag has. This could have been like, oh yeah, I can connect and kind of hang out with people, but after a while, it's just kind of like we don't really speak the same language. Maybe we bore each other. They're bored with me and I'm bored with them. You know, it's kind of like, well, yeah, that's because these were kind of like good time guys, good time girls. It doesn't mean that it wasn't fun, but it just doesn't look like it was the profound connection that Sag is really looking for. So especially when it comes to like love and romance, it's almost like Sag, they're looking for something true for sure. We just got that 7 of Swords in the reverse, and that this makes me think of the song called Honest Truth by Typhoon. Amazing band, amazing song. Yeah, they're looking for, so they believe in things like you know, maybe a twin flame or a cosmic soulmate or something that's really deep and really powerful. And they're like, I really want that, and I think I'll know it when I see it. I believe in that. I don't want to pretend like I can be satisfied with a connection that doesn't really feel like it shakes me at my soul level, because I think it's out there. So this is a Sag who's like single because they just haven't met the right one. They're not jaded or anything. They're just like, what I'm looking for is something that I believe exists, and I think it's pretty sacred and pretty special. And I think I'm looking for somebody who maybe they're into like metaphysical stuff, and it's like I want someone who's into that too. I want someone who will dance on the rooftop with me. I want someone who, you know, just like the things that we care about could be pretty unique and pretty special and pretty different than anyone else's idea of fun, but we're going to enjoy it. I think this particular Sag is going to fall in love with somebody's mind first. You see all of the newsprint. You see that this is all about writing. This is all about messages being sent back and forth and back and forth. This could be that the Sag is going to meet somebody through like family friends. I always look at this as like an old English manor house. This could be a pen pal situation first or online dating first, simply because there could be distance, but it's somebody who has like quite a family lineage. This could also be that there's quite a bit of wealth behind this, and wealth comes in many different forms. This could be somebody who's like they're educated on a lot of topics, just like our Sag is, and so they have these amazing conversations and all this amazing dialogue. This could also be wealth of like, you know, someone comes from like a name that comes from like like I say, a culture. They're an old family name or something in a particular region. But with the 10 of Pentacles, it does usually talk about abundance also. I would just say, if anything, this person the person that they match with could be a little older than them, could be someone who perhaps that's what, if Sag is like an old soul, they're looking for a fellow old soul. They may find it in someone who is older than them, but that part doesn't even matter. It's just like, I was looking for someone that I connect to at an intellectual and spiritual level, um, as much as a physical level. They Sag has already had plenty of the physical stuff, and it's just like, it's just unfulfilling if there's not a like an intellectual connection as well. But it's a precise kind of intellectual connection, because that nautilus shell, we could go down the rabbit hole and start talking about the Fibonacci sequence and the, logarithms of nature, and there's so much that kind of like, it's them trying to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos. That's kind of what the Sag wants, is someone who wants to dabble in that with them. The message from the universe is strength. Um, Sag is perfectly matched for someone who is going to be just as, I don't even want to say old soul or brave or strong, although all those things apply here, but it's more like these two get each other. She soothes this lion. This lion is happy as a clam. He smiles just like my dog. My dog looks just like that when he smiles at me. Um, but it's like, and I protect you. There's this really beautiful symbiotic relationship. And it's like, that's the thing that the Sag has always looked for. Now, the Sag could also be very, very good at communing with other living creatures, things like animals. They could have a knack for that. And it may be because they're pretty tapped into like that cosmic, like life force energy thing. Thing. Didn't I just diminish that? Three of Swords, Temperance, the Devil, and the Seven of Staves in the reverse. Is this Sag going to be like, I feel like somebody has like a magnum opus in them still, like instead of like a wonderful piece of music, I feel like somebody's got a book to write. They've got some huge, like they've been a student of life for a long time. And if they meet the right person, the two of them could collaborate and write a book about life, about honor and heartbreak and duty, about, finding peace and finding balance, about, overcoming addictions and destructive behaviors, and about finding that inner temple and still being a spiritual creature who lives a 3D life. It feels like this is a super deep message. This whole thing for Sag has felt super deep. And it never lightened up. This is like, I would love to hang out with this person. This is so like up my alley. Like I love the, the concepts that like bend the mind and broaden our ideas and entertain, sci-fi ideas and all kinds of things like that. This has been a really fun one. So is there any other message here? Let's see. We have got Strength card again and the Hanged Man. The other message here is simply that, and this is an interesting one, because these two, for as much as they complement each other, they will challenge each other to look at things through different eyes, and they may not get along at first. They can both possibly have such different opinions on things that they may challenge each other. Because now we've seen the Strength card twice, and then with the Hangman says we got to look at things through another set of eyes. I almost feel as if both of these people are alphas, intellectual alphas, and the way they may, I mean, this could be two people who meet at like a seminar and they, talk for 4 hours really arguing before they even realize, wait a second, I'm super turned on by this person. It could be a bit of a shock. These two could actually fall for each other while kind of like, either presenting their ideas. I feel like presentation of ideas is huge for these characters. And it just kind of comes across as like it's going to rock their world, that someone could have a very different perspective and they go, wow, I never would have like listened to that perspective if it hadn't been coming from your lips. I feel like these two have a unique ability to find common ground when they would not have found it with anybody else. These two really challenge each other in a really beautiful way. That's actually a really cool story, that we start out like with kind of like friends and intellectual equals, and then romance kind of buds after that. That was a fun one. All right, Sag, thank you guys for being here. If you do enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. All right, next we have got Leo. Leo, you guys. Oh, first let me do a quick recap. Pisces was 39 seconds. Scorpio was 913. Cancer was 1658. Ophiuchus was 2554. Virgo was 3349. Capricorn was 4522. Taurus was 5444. Aries was 10424. Sag was 11418. And now Leo. Leo, you guys are 12356. All right. Leos, welcome, welcome. This is a single storyline. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start you guys out different. We're going to get a message from the universe first, and then we're going to ask for a love message, and then just anything else. So this is for singles. So we're not talking about exes and all that, but let's just see. Ooh, okay. So the universe says we're going to have a choice to bare our souls to someone. We're going to have a choice to go ahead and have a connection. But that's the beautiful thing. It's each person chooses one another. And this is very much an Adam and Eve. Now, they're in the shadows, but they don't have clothes on. So I'm just covering them up, which is unfortunate that I have to do that because it's a really kind of a beautiful card. But I'll just be delicate anyway. But it's kind of an Adam and Eve love story going on here because we do have the serpent. And what I mean by that is just kind of the first woman, first man, storytelling. I personally am not religious, just FYI, I just mentioned that because I like people to feel comfortable in whatever they believe or don't believe in. And so that's why I just mentioned I personally don't believe in these particular stories, and that is not to challenge anybody. I support you in whatever you do believe that is so different than me. That's the beauty of life, is we're not supposed to all think the same. But we got a Queen of Cups in the reverse. So the message from the universe here is that I kind of think that our Leo is going to be headed for a moment where they're going to realize that they love someone that I almost wonder if they're going to be faced with a choice, and it's going to shock them that maybe once upon a time they thought love was different than what it turns out to be, or the person that they love, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe that this is the person that I'm in love with. I didn't think it was going to be them. I couldn't have conceived of the idea that I would actually fall out of love with someone else and in love with this other person. So their love life could be different than what is expected for this character. The universe is like, expect the unexpected and know that we're supposed to choose well for ourselves, whatever that means, to choose authentically, because no one wants to be stayed with because it's out of like, well, I guess I said I love this person, so I have to stay with them, but really my heart's with somebody else. The universe is like, go with the person that you really love. That's an interesting, like, like future message, right? Okay, so when I ask about a love message for Leo, we start out with a Queen of Cups. My. So is Leo going to be falling for someone only to then later on fall for someone else? Does Leo have more than one great love up ahead in their life then? We have a Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. They ain't going to be single that long. Okay, so we got a Two of Cups. Twin flame soulmate thing going on. Oh my. Okay. Well, we got the Ace of Cups and we got the Eight of Cups. Okay. So we've got a story that says our Leo is going to definitely have two significant love affairs up ahead. They fall head over heels, possibly pretty swiftly. And they think it's their forever person because, hey, this is my Two of Cups person. I feel like they're my twin. I feel like our lives are interwoven. And yet, somewhere through this, I feel as if this interwoven love affair that they have teaches them a little bit more about how to love themselves, because they wind up still on a pathway again alone. And it's not a sad pathway. It's almost like this Leo has, I'm wondering if Leo's going to be shocked in this story. If this single individual is maybe having their most important romances of their life that are up ahead. Maybe they're going to recognize, wow, I never really had a relationship that I could think back on and say, oh, that was the one, or that one was really important. I think everything else is going to pale by comparison of what's yet to come. And it doesn't matter what age this person is at, they're headed for some really profound and possibly even shocking revelations in love and romance. That, or this is just talking about somebody who's on a twin flame journey where they fall for someone, they're not single, they don't view themselves as single for a while, they feel really interwoven to someone, and then they experience more about self-love, and then they wind up being single for a while. But the universe says, yeah, but you're going to be surprised because we've actually still got those lovers choosing each other. Either this is they're meeting a twin flame in the future and they go through that whole journey, or they're meeting a twin flame and then going to meet a second individual still. This is a complicated one for our Leo. This is expect the unexpected is what this message is. Five of Swords, Ace of Swords. I think that there's more than one romantic partner on the horizon. I think that the Ace of Swords represents the person that the Leo is ending up with, and I think that this is that Two of Cups, twin flame, soulmate energy. I think it's interesting because I want to say in this story, even though this is about a single individual, we jumped right into like this Leo is ready for love. They're ready to give their heart to someone. So guess what? In comes a really important person. And that this does not devalue the importance of this connection at all. That twin flame is, maybe it's more along the lines of, because Leo is really ready to have some final little piece of I'll say learning, and they needed to learn it with someone who mirrors them so beautifully, because it was the message of self-love and transformation. You see how she's letting all these butterflies fly free. It's almost as if, I think that this Leo might have been quite a they thought that you're supposed to find your seahorse and marry one person and stay with one person for the rest of your life, and they finally come across someone that they think, oh, this is it, and it turns out no. The lesson was, we're supposed to allow ourselves to be dynamic and change and grow, and recognize that there may be more than one person that is going to be right for us at different phases in our life. And that could be kind of like a shocker. I mean, look, I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying this is a message that I see in this. And I do kind of think that this could be an interesting thought process for the Leo, and they may be, "Ah, I would never believe that. No, I'm looking for the one person. There's only one person that I think is going to be my perfect mate." And this kind of shatters their belief system, and they go, actually, no, I can love someone. I can have loved someone. I can view them as a twin flame, and I may also still realize they're not the one that I was supposed to end up with. That is someone else that the universe had in store for me. Um, there is an element of like, there were lessons learned and someone is pretty hurt that the Leo may not choose them for the long term. But the Leo's like, "Ah, but in life, sometimes we have more than one really important, I'll use the word mission, even though I don't like to say it like that. Um, Give me one more card on this, because this is very intriguing and probably the most complicated out of all of the zodiacs we've pulled for. A Six of Swords and a Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I kind of think that the road that they'll walk with that twin flame vibe is one that could be pretty bumpy, and the ending certainly looked like it was bumpy. And there was something where it was like moving on from feeling like, well, I thought I was supposed to stay forever, but I realized that I can't. And that's sorrow, but it's also showing a ton of growth. And I think that that's when they realize they grow into this other connection with someone who is unexpected. I think it's really unexpected that they wind up falling for somebody else. Can I get one last card, but on the lovers? A Nine of Wands. Yeah, it's interesting because I think that Leo learns so much with whomever that twin flame person is. They learn a ton with them. A lot of hurt, but also a lot of growth, and a lot about how to choose themselves and choose what's right for themselves. Just because we love someone doesn't mean it's going to really be the healthiest version, but it doesn't mean that they aren't helping us to grow. And so in the context of love and romance, it's funny. It's like this Leo winds up going from single to in something very profound, and growing throughout it, and then still moving onward to someone else that they were really supposed to be with. So this twin flame was a lesson for them. But it's interesting because this is a single person's reading. Our character is single. What else is there? Give me any other message for our Leo. We have got an 8 of Wands and we got the 2 of Wands. Go after every lesson we can. Learn, grow, communicate, work on communication. Leo's a good communicator is what this says. And they have the ability to see someone else's viewpoint. They may be particularly excellent at like coming up with an idea, bouncing it off of someone else. That person helps them refine something or brings up something, go, "Ah, excellent. I'm so glad I said this out loud because now it's going to alter what I'm doing. But now I'm rushing off to go and take action on the thing that I was, kicking around externally as I was talking to someone." I feel like this Leo has the gift of communicating things that would require someone to see things through another's eyes, to try to find common ground, to try to find balance. They're also able to change their mind when they're presented with new information. So this is not somebody who's like, well, this is how it is. This is what I believe, and nothing's going to change my mind. They're not like belligerent. They are here to fully grow, learn, and expand in this storyline. No wonder this character, out of all of them, winds up having like a really profound experience that they think is going to last forever. And then they're like, actually, no, this was one for growth. And now I continue on my journey and I end up with a different cosmic partner, a different lover that I choose for myself that matches me now that I've learned a whole lot. That makes sense for a character that is this dynamic and who's all about learning and absorbing and seeing different points of view that they wouldn't have come to if they hadn't, like, this person might think out loud. They may have a habit of communicating. They may also have a nice voice. This could be somebody who they may sing, they may have good rhythm, they may have just some kind of like, there's always more than one way to find the right answer. This character wants to keep their mind open to other alternative ways to look at a situation. So very interesting. This was probably also the most difficult story for me to tell, only because I was like, wait a minute, what do we have here? This Leo is not just straightforward. I thought it was going to be a quick storyline, and instead it was kind of Sag was really profound too, but yeah, this was a bit of a journey. All right, now we're going into the air signs. All right, so we're going to start out with Gemini. By the way, Leo, thank you so much for having hung out with me. Thank you very much. If you do enjoy the storytelling, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. Next up, Geminis, you are coming in at 136.19. All right, whoops, make sure I can read that. Okay, Geminis, this is a singles read, and we're going to ask kind of what's the love message, kind of the self-love message, and the message from the universe. So let's just see how this comes out. It's been fun because it's been different for every individual, but it is for a single character, okay? So it's not about exes. We've got a King of Swords, and there's probably our Gemini right out of the gate. There's someone who is coming in King's energy, whether they're masculine or feminine is irrelevant, but they may identify as a feminine who's standing as a king in their life, meaning they're an action taker. This could be somebody who is making their dreams come true. It's someone who, I would say, they found their own identity and their own voice. Maybe once upon a time they were living life according to someone else's rule book, and then they were like, I want to branch out and do it my way now. I mean, they might have said, until I was like almost 30, I did what I was taught or told to do. And I just say that because we have 3 almost completed rows of perfectly stitched on. So I'm like, oh, did they spend like 3 decades of their life, learning how to do things a certain way before they said, no, wait a minute. I am me. I am not my parents. Why don't I branch out and do it my way? And when they started to do that, we get this much more interesting pattern. We see them having different, explorations. And it's like, this is a thinker. This is a super intelligent person. We got the Death card. We got the Page of Pentacles. I feel like we have got a single individual who started to date very different people. maybe they were married for 3 years and now they're single and they've dated here and there, and it's like somebody has made the comment like, "Wow, I can't tell what you like." And they're like, "I don't know what I like either. That's the whole point. What I think I like has changed over time. I think my taste in mates could be very different than what it used to be." Maybe somebody is changing the flavor of gender that they prefer, or maybe this is someone who is just simply changing their perspective on what kind of person suits them now. Sometimes when we live according to someone else's life plan, we don't get a chance to ask ourselves, well, does that really work for me? I mean, my family approved of this kind of person that I used to date, but maybe I like maybe my family wanted like somebody who's always like really super sporty or something because we're a sporty family, but maybe I actually really like somebody who's super like studious, or there's someone who's like real chill and wants to lay back at the beach on the weekend, or it's just I'm finding what I prefer in personality type, but it's definitely a change. There could be a Scorpio coming in. This person could also have started to fall in love with something like gardening, something that is just kind of like a real earthy energy, and that could be another change. Somebody who goes from being more cerebral into being more, in this case, more like in touch emotionally, looking for different earthier aspects. And then we've got this Page of Pentacles. This feels like a brand new kind of a romance that is about to blossom. It's something that you notice that we have a dragonfly coming in, and dragonflies take action. That's what they represent, is action taking. And we have this sweet innocence here, almost like it could be a romance that begins in a super innocent way. It's not something that maybe anybody expected it to turn into a romance. It's not something that came, like boldly forward and was just like, here it is, we're totally um like energetically connected to each other. Instead, it's almost like someone unexpectedly sees our Gemini and they decide, you know what, I'm going to cross the street. I want to walk over to that person and say hi. It's like someone just it wasn't like a date scenario. It wasn't something where there was supposed to be chemistry, but it's somebody who just kind of catches the eye of this Gemini and they just like what they see. So they walk right on up and they say something. This could be a very, because a Gemini is open to something unexpected, the unexpected happens. That's, I guess, the best way for me to say it. Knight of Pentacles. And it goes nice and slow. And it goes kind of just a casual, comfortable. I definitely feel like this is not a crazy intense energy where it's stressful at all. This feels like, yeah, I just met this interesting person, like, well, right out there on the street corner. Yeah, as I was walking to get into my car, they walked by. We struck up a small conversation, and then they said, "Hey, have you ever had those hot dogs over by the beach at that little stand? Well, they're really good. Do you want to meet me at like 6 o'clock and eat one with me? It's a really cool sunset tonight." It could just be this really casual, it's almost like they slip into dating without knowing it, that kind of vibe. And I'm wondering if we go from something that was very orderly and kind of intense to something where the Gemini just wants it to be super flowy. By the way, I've 3 times I've had to catch myself so I didn't say Capricorn, or at least I hope I didn't say it out loud. So I don't know. And we have no Capricorn here, by the way. I mean, I guess Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, we do have Earth energy, but for some reason I want to say Capricorn, but there's nothing here to represent Capricorn other than, casual Earth energy. It's a nice, this person seems to be like they're going to be well liked by friends. Oh, wow. There's our Empress. We got the Moon. We got the Queen of Pentacles. We got the Four of Swords. I think the way I see this is this person feels like a friend first. This person feels like by the time it's like already turning into a romance, I almost think that it's going to be friends who point it out before the Gemini knows that that's what's going on. I think that they're still going to be like, no, I think this person's just friend. And the friends are going to say, no, I think that they are super serious about you. How do you not recognize that? It's almost like the Gemini is the last to know. This person seems to be head over heels. And it's nice that this whole thing has taken a very casual energy flow, because it's like, it's been soothing. So I'm wondering if our Gemini actually had maybe a wound, and maybe that's why they were trying to find out, like, what do I really like? What do I really want? That maybe that's where they had a wound, is when they started to alter the path that they were taking and take more charge of their life and say, I'm going to do things that I like. I'm going to figure out what works for me. I feel like this person in this storyline, we had a Gemini who was single, possibly because there was some ending, something that was unsatisfying, something that was even a little bit hurtful. And I think they're only just now realizing how much they've healed. First, they were just kind of like um, taking control of their life, letting themselves grow, letting themselves randomly date when they wanted to, but they weren't taking anything too serious. And I think that's why this romance sneaks up on our Gemini. This is something that I do. I feel like the friends recognize this romance is something serious before the Gemini does. It could be with an earth energy. It's kind of a nice, kind of sweet tempo. I like the fact that it becomes this beautiful healing story also. Message from the universe says, Princess of Swords. This is about seeking knowledge. It's about paying close attention. Paying attention to ourselves, our own body signals, our own, when our heart or our soul is speaking to us. And it's also about collecting information by observing the way someone else behaves. What do we like about someone? What do we not like about someone? Sometimes quietly listening to what someone says, we learn a lot more about them than if we sat and asked them questions directly. And I just think that there's this wonderful thing that's saying our Gemini has that gift, that skill set. They could be someone that a lot of people want to talk to because they're active listeners, and they really, I mean, this could be somebody who's great at like even like being a therapist or a counselor, because they really hear what someone is saying and what they mean and what they're conveying in a very different way. They just kind of observe without judgment, and they just kind of gather together information and then have a way to repackage it, possibly, so that it's like, oh, well, here's what I noticed. Here's what I took away from that. That's a wonderful skill set to have. And then any other message that we may have, we have an Ace of Cups. I love the fact that this Gemini has not only filled their own cup, right? They started to ask themselves, what do I want? We saw that in the beginning. And then we have this wonderful cup of love being offered to them. Now, they in turn may now be ready to offer their cup to someone else. There's going to be an opportunity for all of that if they should want it. Of course, life can be satisfying with or without a romantic situation in it, but obviously, we haven't had one yet that said, nope, this person never wants to meet anyone. That's not what we've seen so far. We've got an 8 of coins that came out at kind of an angle. I like the fact that it's at an angle because it's saying, of course, there's always going to be, life is a dance, and anything that we're going to do is going to require like input of energy. But love does not have to become a job that we have to work at, and it won't be for our Gemini either. This isn't going to have to be a job. All of this has been about finding a better flow and not feeling like it has to be this overwhelming, stressy thing. And I like the fact that that's the underlying message. Love should be something that, of course, we put in effort. We want to show our partners that we care about them, but it's not like, okay, I go through these motions. It's this grueling ordeal. I have to feel like I'm slaving away because, hey, love is pain. That's not what this is at all. I like that message. I like closing with that one. That was nice. Of course, I say that because I agree with that sentence. So easy for me to say, right? All right. And now let's go ahead and, Gemini, thank you guys for being here. I'm sorry, I forget to say that. I appreciate you guys stopping in. And if you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. All right. Aquarius, you guys are next. You are coming in at 147.31. All right, Aquarians, this is a single storyline, so we're not talking about exes, but this one is going to be about love, also a message from the universe, and then anything else that maybe pops out. All right, what did we get? Got an Ace of Pentacles and we got the King of Wands in the reverse. So in the realm of love, well, first off, we got something new showing up here, but you notice there's actually two little ferns unfurling. I fear, at least as it stands right now, that yes, it's a story of a single individual, but what's nice is that this single individual, they are very well aware that what they choose for themselves, they will be the final decider. They may have somebody coming in first that could come on a little strong, could be not at all what they're looking for. I mean, this King of Wands can be in the reverse, they can be pretty full of themselves. They can be arrogant. And so the fact that she may be saying, I have a choice between two. And you notice that these are like ferns that haven't fully unfurled. So it's like, well, just because somebody makes a bad first impression does not mean that they may actually be super arrogant or overbearing, right? That might be mistaken. She's going to give something a chance. But in this case, there is more than one option, more than one opportunity. And I want to say that's probably, oh, wow, we got an Emperor here and we got an Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so, well, that's kind of no contest, isn't it? But what I was going to say before I jump too far down this story, what I was going to say is this could, because it's the newness, an Ace of Pentacles is a new way to look at something. I would argue that our Aquarius has perhaps been that kind of person where they're like, well, I don't, I wouldn't let myself, have two different options and I would wait and see who I like more. But this character might be saying, that's exactly what I should do. Why do I have to get serious about someone when, look, we're not married. I just met you. If I want to have a date with, like one person for lunch and then go out with somebody else for dinner, I'm allowed to do that. We're not exclusive. I haven't gotten to know you guys yet. All I can do is let myself have opportunity to meet people and see what I like before I commit. And I kind of think that might be the new energy of this character, which is darn good in this case that she's operating like that, because the first person, if this is her lunch date, it may not go so hot. So thank goodness she didn't say no to this cat who might be the dinner date, because this is a catch. This is the one we want to go out with for sure. There's no contest between a king in the reverse or an emperor upright. This person is pretty full of themselves, pretty overbearing, pretty arrogant, pretty demanding, and possibly competitive. This person is like, I know who I am. I was just hoping to get to know you. It's really lovely that what I would say is our Aquarius is they've been working on transforming the way they operate. And I do think that this is an Aquarius who is, because the butterfly is all about transformation, and you notice how they're busy painting the wings. I also feel like somebody is really sweet, really loving with other creatures on this planet. They could have a really soft spot. This could be somebody who like literally donates their time or energy at some very obscure like, I don't know, like I had a friend in Australia who was really getting involved in saving a particular kind of spider. And I'm just picturing that this is one of those people that might be really caring in general, but they hadn't allowed themselves the freedom to maybe be a little bit more picky, I'll say. And now that they're allowing themselves to do that, it's serving them well, because they're able to make a nice comparison between like, well, just because this person asked me out first doesn't mean that I'm now I'm their property. Not at all. I'm changing the way I'm doing things. I'm evolving. I'm, working on my own personal growth and development. And so that's why I said yes to this other date. And guess what? This one turns out a heck of a lot better. So this is like, if at first we're not too sure that we like what we see, why don't we go ahead and go out with somebody else also? That's kind of the message on this. But I like the fact that it's a very empowered Aquarius who is choosing to let themselves explore a little bit, and that could be different. That could be different for them. They may not have allowed themselves that freedom before. All right, let's get a message from the universe if one wants to come out. Six of Cups. Very nice. So this talks about soulmates in general, right? And we see an ancient alchemist and like his student here. And alchemy was all about transmuting one thing into another. And so it's a lovely thought process to say, well, when we meet soulmates, people that are part of our soul group, sometimes we're the student, sometimes we're the teacher. And that we learn how to be a better teacher when we've had a student, or we learn how to be a better student once we've been a teacher and we go, oh man, that kid was really hard to teach. And I almost think that every experience that we have, because this could have been two different soulmates that this character will meet. And one, it'll be like, wow, I'm their teacher. And the other one, we could be like, wow, I'm their student. But in this pathway that she's taking, she or he, this isn't about genders, they may actually recognize that both of these have had value in my life. I've played different roles. I've learned different things. This is pretty amazing, actually. Um, I wouldn't have wanted to miss out on either of these characters. Not like one was a creep and the other one is so fabulous. It's more like, what did I gain out of this? Because the people who touch my life play an impact in my life. So what did it transform in me? How do I see the world differently after having had these experiences? It's very thought provoking. Our Aquarius is like, I think they kind of view everything as like, yeah, it's a sacred experience. And at the same time, it's okay to also say, and now I'm done with one experience and I'm going to continue on because maybe I'm supposed to play a different role with the next person. All right. Any other final messages? We have a Page of Wands. We have a Queen of Coins. We have a Five of Coins. We have the Temperance, the Seven of Coins, and the Two of Cups. So it is this Aquarius has a long life journey, a life journey of experiences that are going to be passion and growth and loss and rebalancing oneself and then growing some more until they get to the I'll say the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. This is almost like someone who is able to step back and see their entire journey. I feel like this person, I don't know why I want to say this person could be like a photographer. They may be very able to like, or maybe they like what's that called, genealogy, where they look at lives of characters in their own world, or even like, if maybe this is macabre, but I personally really like old graveyards. I love to look and find the oldest headstone that there is, and then sometimes I'll look that person up because I want to know who were they, what was their life on earth like. It's inspirational, um to see and to imagine like what others' lives have been that have come before us, and what did they contribute. And sometimes it's fascinating what you learn about different people. And I'm just wondering if it's like this character looks at their own life as a journey, but maybe it's because they look at everyone's life that way. And there are parallels, right? We're all human, so we only have a certain range of human experiences and emotions that we go through. But with this character, it just kind of looks like they are very capable. They're a very visual person, and they're very able to maybe to comprehend someone else's journey simply because they're like, well, mine isn't too different. So it's a sense of understanding, and it's also this awareness that before we get to the pot of gold, we probably have to learn a lot first. And they're okay with every aspect of that. But I feel like this person, they may keep mementos also from like segments of their life, and they go, oh yeah, that's when I learned this, or that's when I experienced that. And they may have a bit of a photographic memory, or they're a photographer, or there's someone who they have a unique way. They may have a collection of little things that they keep that show different memories of their life. And it's really sentimental, but it's lessons that they learned at certain points in their life. I don't know where that just came from. That's probably doesn't make any sense, but that's what I got. So, all right. And so now, last but not least, we have Libra. By the way, Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. If you do enjoy the storytelling, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. All right. So, my dear Karen, no, actually, Libra is our very last sign. So I did Pisces actually was the very first at 39 seconds. And then Aquarius was the one that started at 147.31. Okay. So last but not least, let's go to Libra. Libra, you guys are coming in at 157. 40. Okay. Whoops. Did I break my pen? No. Okay. Libras, welcome back. All right, Libras, this is a single storyline, but it is one where we're going to ask about love, and then anything about self-love, and then just anything else in general, okay? Ooh, well, the message from the universe, first off, is... we got a 7 of Swords, and we got that Ace of Wands. The message from the universe, and forgive me, this is going to sound really blunt, but has the Libra in the past found themselves sometimes almost feeling forced to pretend that they were more interested in something than what they were? Did they feel pressured at some point in time? Were they raised in a context where it was like, you know, this is supposed to be what you're passionate about, whether or not they really were? Did they ever find themselves in a situation where it was like, what I really want is to explore something totally different, but that's not what I'm allowed to have? So I slap on a smile and act like, this is great. I love this so much, when that's not what they wanted. Because this is the big enigma. It almost feels as if there's a whole nother realm of likes and dislikes and a whole nother person that lived within our lead character. And the universe is saying, sweetheart, you should not have to hide like what your personal preferences are, what you like, what you don't like, what you're truly passionate about. You should be allowed to explore and experience, because if you don't get to do what you like and what you want, then who is going to do what you like and you want? Only you get to do that. So if ever there was something where we put on a false smile and tolerated stuff instead of allowed ourselves to have what we really wanted, that's kind of the like gentle support from the universe, where it's like, hey, and don't think it's too late, because the world is full of unsolved mysteries, and we are like our own little mystery that we get to work on solving. You know, there's tons of stuff that we don't even know about ourselves until we've gone down that road and learned things about ourselves. So it's never too late, even if maybe there has been a little too much acquiescence. You know, maybe our Libra has acquiesced a few too many times in life, instead of saying, no, I don't want that, I don't like that, I want to do this instead, or I'm passionate about that instead. And it's like, it's okay, they still have plenty of time to like take charge and get what they really want and explore the things that they want. It doesn't matter what age somebody is, they still get to explore. In the realm of love, now we've got the Star in the reverse. This can be someone who either feels as if there has been a missed opportunity of something that they wanted, or it's just a wish that is not what they wanted anymore. So it's a wish unfulfilled, but that's okay. We got a Temperance. Oh, their wishes are changing. This really is starting to feel, especially because we got that 8 of Cups next. What's behind it? 5 of Swords. I was going to say, this is really starting to feel like someone who's on like a journey of what they actually want authentically for themselves. And it takes a while to figure out what we want authentically, because takes a while to like really figure out who we are and get really in sync with ourselves. This feels like a self-discovery story. You notice how one bird is leaving and the other bird is coming in. We've got a character who's only just now truly letting go of a lifestyle or something that didn't suit them, and they're just now ready to have like a really good time. They're just now getting ready to have what they authentically want, a love of a lifetime, the story of their life that they're going to be the author of entirely. I feel up until this point in time, maybe this particular Libra had like a co-author of their life, someone who was kind of like trying to enforce their will or impose their wants on this Libra, and the Libra maybe out of like kindness or good-heartedness allowed a little of that, and now they're like, are you kidding me? I'm doing what I want. This person is just now getting a taste of what it feels like to really feel excited and call all their own shots. We got an 8 of Cups. This is a very empowered individual. And with this 5 of Swords, somebody ain't happy about it. Whoever this is feels like, oh, you broke my heart. How could you do what's right for you? You were supposed to do what was right for me. No wonder this is a character who is now single, because I would not think it's a very fun thing to be told, you were supposed to do what's right for me. That's not the way that works. each character, especially in any kind of situation, like both characters should care about the happiness of the other. We have got a Libra who is, I feel like they have been observing and deciding what kind of a relationship they want to have. I feel like they've been almost studying good relationships. What does that look like? What would they like theirs to be like? What's their next situation going to be? They are consciously making choices for themselves because they're like, I don't want to waste any time. I don't want to accidentally slip into accommodating someone else's wants. I want to make sure that I shop around a little, or that I work on, like, what is the secret to having a really successful and really happy situation. So they're observing others that they probably like and admire. 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles. This is someone who's going to have a really, really wonderful second half of their life. This is somebody who is extremely, I'm going to say extremely astute. They are aware that, and they could be like dating quite a bit and then whittling it down to, from like 5 options down to 2. And they're getting to the point where it's like, I'm going to make sure I know what I want because I am master of my own life. And I'm going to have it all. I'm going to have someone that I love, someone that I really connect well with. I'm going to go ahead and, you know, step by step, get to know different qualities of people, figure out what I really think will make the happiest match for myself. It's almost like this person is being their own matchmaker. And how do you know what you want unless you kind of dated enough to know what suits you, especially if this character didn't really get a chance to do that before. So they're learning about what they want, what traits are. Oh, this is nice. 6 of Pentacles. This is a character who they've kind of narrowed it down at this point. I feel like we're watching the evolution of our character. You notice that we get to the T, the truth. And what they really want is a really truthful, honest companionship, something that gives equally, something that feels well matched, something that feels super loving. This could be a same sex couple, but it's somebody who really wants, and maybe that's the truth that they're realizing. They want someone who is like very similar to themselves, or they want a same sex couple, whatever this is. They want something that gives equally. That's really important, and something that's true. They don't want a romance that is going to be based on anything where we got to play roles that are assigned to us. They want something super authentic. Knight of Swords and the Emperor. Wow. Okay, so this Libra is it's almost, I almost feel like this again is like a, they let people interview for the position of being their partner. This feels like, because all of the newsprint is on her dress and this message is flying in, I feel like this is like someone who's realizing, okay, I'm ready to communicate to someone, I choose you. I feel like this storyline is more about a Libra who's doing the picking for themselves. They are sending a message to someone that, you're the person I really want to spend time with. I like everything that I've seen in you. I like this about you. I like that about you. And this person's really thrilled. I mean, this could be an Aries, but it's someone who's been steadfast and stable. I feel like this is someone, I almost wonder if the Libra didn't sit down and have a luncheon with somebody and say, you know what I've learned? I've figured out exactly who I want. There's this one person, maybe this is a boss, maybe this is someone that they know, but it's like, I really want to ask out this one person because I feel like they've got all the qualities that I want. And their friend says, well, then what are you waiting for? Go ask that person out. All of this has been about a Libra who kind of, when somebody gets forced into accepting things that they don't really want, and then they get free of that and they start to choose for themselves, this person, we watch them get bolder and bolder and bolder until the point where it's like, I'm going to be an advocate for what I actually want. And they wind up becoming the person who maybe pursues exactly who they want, exactly what kind of a romance that they want. They want a long-term, stable connection with someone that they view as like, this is a high quality person. So our Libra gets very certain, but it looks like the Libra is the one who makes the move. This could be a feminine Libra who like reaches out to an emperor and says, "Hey, I like the way you do. I like you." This is very exciting. This is a very empowered character. So anything else here? We got a 7 of coins and we got a King of cups. This is also saying that love can take a little time. Opening up can take a little time. And this Libra is fine with that as well. They're patient with someone because they've learned how to be patient with themselves on this journey of like, I want to find what I really want. I don't want to be forced into saying yes. So I would never force somebody else to open up to me. Let me know who you are. I need to get to know if this is going to work. They're like, oh, baby, take all the time you need. This is going to be like unwrapping a really sweet Christmas present. This will be awesome. Like, I don't care if we take time to build trust and open up emotionally. I've figured out how to select what I want to get to know, and now the actual getting to know you can take us and be the sweet little like unwrapping event. And so we don't have to rush that part. Why? Because I was careful about how I chose my who I was most interested in getting to know. So now that I know it's you that I want to get to know deeper, now we can take it as slow as we want. And I don't feel like, "Ah, I'm wasting time. I need to hurry this up." So it's really sweet. Oh, Karen, you sweetheart. Thank you very much. That is such a beautiful donation. Thank you, honey. Um, no, this just looks like our Libra is so like their soul is at ease. They're at peace. They're comfortable with the pace of everything right now. It's just comfortable. So it's really nice. Um, I feel like this King of Cups is really gonna enjoy this also. The way that they're handled. I think this person is going to be head over heels in love with our Libra because it's like, wow, this is so nice. This is so comfortable. This is um such a great change to have somebody who is like not in a rush, not in a hurry, because life can get pretty fast paced and romance can feel really intense. And this is like, no, I don't want to do intense. I want something stable. And so that takes time to build it. I don't, I like this. Um, by the way, whoever the masculine is here could have a pretty nifty I don't know, they may be very into like metal stuff in general. They may be someone who's like even though this is Trident or Poseidon, I can't help but think he looks so much like like the Viking style looking cuffs and jewelry, but also like swords. This could be somebody who really likes weaponry for some reason, just like they could be skilled or trained in like martial arts or they like swords or something along those lines. This person, I mean, it certainly stands out that they've got kind of like this very masculine edge of like what we as for females we kind of call it our accessories, but they may have like their own version of accessories, whatever that is, masculine, feminine, doesn't matter, but they accessorize nicely, but in a very masculine trait. And it may not just be about like what they wear, but everything could be functional, like jackets with grommets on them, pockets with extra zippers, or yeah, just things that they can carry more items and things like that. They accessorize in unique ways. It could be also kind of like everything has a purpose. It's utilitarian. And they may have I don't know, this comes across as like a very classically powerful masculine, and yet they're super emotional. And even when we saw them as that emperor, they look military at first, but then you look and instead of military insignia on the jackets, what you actually see is all of these flowers growing. And instead of a crown on their head, you see the house. So it's almost like at every turn, this person is a combo of like power and then softness. So, and it doesn't have to be a masculine, it's just that's what's come across here. But a nice blend for this character. I can see why the Libra took their time to find someone with these attributes, because it sounds really nice. It sounds really sweet, and it sounds really fulfilling, is what I'll say. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys. Libra, if you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to the channel. As I always say, you guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight. Oh, Vatsala, I'm so glad you made it, sweetheart. I just finished this evening. I just thought I would do a single story for every single zodiac, because I haven't actually done that for the singles before, and I always try to put out a singles read every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And I thought, you know what? Let's do a single story for every single zodiac, and let's just do one big long epic adventure on this. So yeah, let me know if you guys like this as singles. If you do, maybe I'll start doing that a little bit more frequently in general, so it's not just, I always do like a singles read, but I don't break it into signs or zodiacs. So if you guys are interested in that, just let me know in the comment section if you prefer this method or just the general collective kind. But it's kind of fun. You guys are so nice. I love the fact you guys have been hanging out, chit-chatting with each other. You are so awesome. Juliet, I'm delighted you were here. Hey, Siege, you're so awesome. Oh, Gigi Alexandra, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to comment to you. I'm not sure. I was probably on Libra when you dropped that comment, I'm guessing. But now I'm going to go in and I will go ahead and jot down all the timestamps on every single one. I'll mention this right now just for anybody who's here. Hi, Aries. My baby's here. Pisces was at 39 seconds. Scorpio was at 9 minutes and 13 seconds. Cancer came in at 16:58. Ophiuchus was at 25:57. Virgo was at 33:49. Capricorn was at 45:22. Taurus was 54:44. Aries was 104:24. Sag was 114:18. Leo was 123:56. Gemini was 136:19. Aquarius was 147:31. And Libra started at 152 or 7. I'm sorry. 40. I'll have to double check that one because I can't read my writing. Anyway, you guys, thanks everyone for hanging out with me. I'm going to hurry it up and go get these guys all listed in the description box. I want to say comment, and I'm like, no. It's not comment section, it's description box. Thank you, everybody. You're so nice, you guys. That was so fun. I absolutely love seeing that you guys have been chit-chatting. It's such a lovely group of people. You guys, thanks for making my channel what it is. It is so like, it's like hanging out with friends. So thank you guys. All right, everybody. Mwah, lots of love. Bye for now. Hi, my baby.